Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to uh, From Prospect to Paycheck with Express Offers. I'm your host today, Manager Terrance Clark of the Express Offers platform. Super excited to be here with you all. Tell me in the comments where you guys are all coming in from, and if you have ever used Express Offers before. Nice, nice. Range of different places. So excited to see that. Today, we're not going to be talking so much about Express Offers, the platform, but today I want to give you the insights and the strategies on how to leverage cash offers in your business to really create, again, go from prospect to paycheck. So, if you would, go ahead and start those slides and we'll get right to it. Okay, again, this is from prospect to paychecks, proven strategy, cash offer strategy, hosted by me, manager of Express Offers platform. So a little bit about me. I've been a realtor since 2018. I'm a third generation real estate investor, currently with 200 doors under management. Sourced off market single family residential houses for a top 10 institution in 2021. Also co-founded a nonprofit, Limitless Levy, in 2013. And I started with Express Offers with EXP on the corporate side in 2023. It's been just under 2 years. Can't believe that time has flown by the way that it has. Again, what we're going to learn about today, we'll go over quickly what Express Offers is, the problem we solve, the proven cash offer strategy, and hopefully have some time for some question and answers. Let's get into it. So today, look at the world, look at your listing business as, this two different ways to win a listing. You have flexible selling solutions, you have a traditional listing, and we want you to stand right in the middle and be both, right? We want you to be able to offer a traditional listing, but also lead with these convenience options. And we really feel like this is the smart way to win in 2025. So Express Offers, we provide sellers with fast, flexible solutions, connecting them with buyers and services that fit their needs while keeping you at the center. So it's really vital in today's climate to make sure that you can come to the table with convenience, that you can come to the table with speed and certainty, right? So we want to make sure that your clients are not having to choose whether they have speed and convenience or they have a fiduciary to represent them. So some of the dilemmas that we're going to solve is give you something very powerful as far as lead generation. This has been described by many as the most powerful lead generation strategy out there in terms of coming to the seller with an actual offer, being able to present something that's tangible before you even learn so much about their situation. And we'll get into some of the specifics about how you'll present that in a moment. But then it's also about competing with investors, right? All of us have seen that marketing, the messaging from investors that says, hey, work with us, we'll buy your house fast, no agents, no commissions. I like to always point out that it's not so much that the investor believes that they're going to save the seller money. It's the fact that they don't want a fiduciary in the transaction. They feel often that we complicate the transaction, that we are a barrier between them and the seller. But if we're actually able to lead with cash offers and present cash offers, now the seller doesn't have to choose between, again, that speed and convenience or having a fiduciary. Next, you have faster and more predictable deals. And what we mean by that is when you work with cash offers, you work with these as-is investors, you're not having to go through a lot of the red tape that you may come into with traditional financing. So we want to make it easy for you on that front and make it easy for your sellers as well. Next is a scalable and repeatable success, right? So when you think of being able to work with different investors, we've all gotten that text of, hey, I'm buying houses in your market. What do you have off market? But we give you a platform that allows you to work with one submission and one dashboard. So those are the problems that we solve with Express Offers. I believe that if you get in and you play with it, you'll find that this is a very easy platform to use that can really drive your business. So the strategy, this is where we're going to break down step by step everything you need to know about cash offers to be able to present it in a way that makes sense for your sellers and makes sense for your business. So step one, you really need to make sure that you understand the value propositions of express offers and working with cash offers. You really can't present this in a way that's going to be productive if you don't understand what we're giving. So some of those value propositions, it really breaks down into four different things. We're talking really mostly about convenience, right? The ability to be able to present an offer without showings, without repairs, without a seller having to move their life around to get an offer. Then let's talk about certainty. When you're working with these cash offer buyers, these investors, you're not going through some of the red tape that can, slow a traditional deal down. The inspections, the appraisal contingencies, a lot of that stuff is removed when you're working with these cash offers. Also, the seller gets control. In most instances, these investors are going to be flexible to the closing date, right? They're going to be able to close quickly if that's 2 weeks or long as 10 months is what I've seen on our platform as well. So for a seller to be able to control, when the opportunity closes, it really puts them in the driver's seat and really make sure that they have an experience that they can be happy with. Lastly is the speed. For some people, this is going to be number one, but I like to use speed. I like to talk about control more than I like speed, because if you're not talking to someone who actually needs speed, it can be a little frightening. But for those that need it, to know that they can have a deal close in 14 days, sometimes they're up against different time frames and different deadlines that they have to meet, that the speed is really attractive. Step two of our strategy, we need to pick our targets. Who are you going to be working with? Who do you want to work with? Is it your for sale by owners that already have their hand raised, that have, obviously the things that they go through? Is it your expired listings, people who are frustrated that they didn't get their home sold? Is it tired landlords who, they're not so much loving being a landlord anymore? Or inherited properties, probate properties, people who are dealing with death in their families? Is it new construction buyers, people who only want to move one time and be able to control the process, right? And not have contingencies on their new construction transaction? Or is it people facing pre-foreclosure and have financial hardship, people that may actually need the speed, who are in distress, right? You need to, in order to present this to your clients in a right way, you really want to target and pick who your targets are so that you can talk to them in a way that they're going to understand. Next, you need to study your avatars. And what we mean by this is, what questions do they have? What are their pain points? What emotions are they feeling? Understanding their mindset and what they're going through is going to allow you to position not only just express offers, but it's going to also help you to position yourself as someone who they need, as opposed to someone who they may want to work with. Those are the two different pathways that a seller really chooses. Do they want to work with you, or do they need to work with you? And we want to put you in position to where they feel like they need to work with you because you understand their pain points and the emotions that they're going through. Wanted to share these prompts with you. Leverage AI technology. It's something that we as agents, we can't run from. It's here. We need to make sure that we're using it effectively. So one of the things that you could ask your GPT is, what are some of the biggest questions that insert your target avatar, whether it's for sale by owners, tired landlords, so on and so forth, in your specific location, has about their situation and what options are available to them. I can tell you that last part is one of the most important things, right? What options are available to them? If you're working with someone who's in pre-foreclosure, I can almost guarantee that the last thing they want to do is sell their house. So you need to understand, what options do they have? What things can they evaluate? Is it a forbearance, a loan modification? Are there nonprofits and other entities out there that can actually help them through their situation? Next, what are the common pain points that, again, your target avatar in your specific location face in their situation? You want to know what these pain points are so you can address them head on. So when you're having conversation, when you're putting out marketing, you can talk specifically to those things. Lastly, what emotions does a target avatar in your specific location experience throughout their situation? And how do these emotions influence their actions? The reason why the emotions are so important is because you really want to know how to talk to your avatar. Do you need to have a more Do you need to have more empathy in your tone? Do you need to be more confident? Do you need to instill confidence? All of those emotions based off your avatar are going to matter in terms of how you deliver your message. Here's a quick little exercise. Meet Fizbo Fred. Fred is a high D analytical personality. He values control, logic, and cost savings. He believes that selling his home itself will maximize his profit, and he sees hiring an agent as unnecessary. However, he faces pricing challenges, legal complexities, and time constraints. Juggling contracts, fair housing laws, and showings around his busy schedule, frustration builds, and he realizes the process is more demanding than expected. How many of you have ran into a Fizbo Fred? Write in the comments if you've ever met Fizbo Fred in your market. Here are some of the pain points. So Fred, again, is overwhelmed by managing calls and showings, negotiations, confused by investor offers, right? We know that people who are for sale by owners, they're often running into agents who want to list and also investors who are looking for deals. They also struggle to attract the qualified buyers. A lot of times they're not priced correctly or they haven't marketed the property correctly. We've all seen those cell phone pictures show up on Zillow for sale by owners. They're also juggling their lives with work, making it hard for them to focus on actually getting their home sold. They're also concerned that the pricing, is it right? Are they able to do that without having an agent involved? Also, the legal complexities like fair housing, right? They are scared that that potentially they could be at risk for litigation. And actually, a quote that I read or a stat that I read the other day is that of all transactions to be litigated, 71% of them only have one agent involved in the deal. So that could be, again, a pain point that you speak directly to when you're reaching out to Fizbos. His emotions, he started off confident, feeling like he is able to get this done. Again, most Fizbos usually are executives, lawyers, have sales backgrounds. They're people who really feel like they can do our job better than us most often. They want to be in control. They want to control the process, but then it becomes overwhelming. They then start off skeptical and then hesitant, if they're leaving money on the table. And then they start off also as determined, knowing they can get it done, but become stressed, having to juggle all of their regular life along with selling a house. Step 4. So we've started with understanding our value props. We then picked our avatar. Then we studied them, and now we need to market to them. So there are 3 different ways that we're going to market to them. We're either going to inbound, right, where that is putting out content marketing that is going to attract them. We're going to outbound, meaning we're going to go on the hunt. We're going to be a hunter. We're going to show up where they're at, be it direct mail, email, cold calling, or there's paid ads, right? Your Google PPC, your Facebook ads, even sponsoring events, radio, billboard. When we look at inbound, again, that's putting out content marketing that is specific to your avatar, specific to their pain points and their emotions. We can leverage blogs for this, emails, newsletters, social media posts, and video content. Next, we want to build social proof, right? That's leveraging the transactions and the clients that we have already had and their success that we've been able to bring to them. Don't hesitate to reach out to your old clients and clients that you have now and let them tell the world about your process. It's pro tip is to ask them for these testimonials before the transaction closes, when they're at an emotional high, when they're extremely happy. This could happen like right at the closing table, but definitely put a process in place to be able to grab these testimonials. Here's kind of what it would look like on inbound marketing. So here's a social media post that we created. Selling your home shouldn't feel like a second job. It speaks directly to our avatar, speaks their language, hits on the pain points, again, it feeling like a second job. And then we want to, again, position ourselves as the authority, as the person who can guide them through this situation. And so you would want to put, with this media post, you want to put an active caption to really hit on some of those other things. Outbound. This is probably something that most of us run from, right? We really don't like hitting the phones. We know that direct mail can be expensive. And so a lot of us try to run from this, but it's by far my favorite way to go out and find sellers because I'm in control. I determine, how much I can spend time wise for actually calling, or if that's texting, or if it's direct mail. I'm in control of that. So this outbound marketing, if you're someone who is running from this, I'm going to encourage you and challenge you to take it on, take it on face on, and don't be scared of it. It's something that you can really control the pipeline that you build by taking these strategies and running with it. But we really want to make sure that the marketing and the messaging when we're going out and having outbound action is direct and intentional, right? Based off of who we are targeting, right? If that's for sale by owner or pre-foreclosure, those messages are going to be different. Same like it would be different for divorce or probate. And then most importantly is to be consistent and relentless. There's actually a stat out there that says that a transaction happens between the 7th and 12th contact. If you think you're going to, call a list or, build a list and call it one time and, you're going to have a built out pipeline of a bunch of sellers, I'm telling you today, it's likely not going to happen. You need to be able to put into place that you're going to call these people multiple times. You're going to send out multiple outreaches. If you're direct mailing, you're planning to mail multiple times. That's not a one-off. Again, direct mail specific to your target. So cutoff here is what like a postcard would look like. This one is here for a tired landlord. But you can see it really hits on their pain points, really hits on the different things that we can offer and the value, right? No showings, no listings, waiting for buyers, no repairs. So we just want to make sure that, again, it's very specific to our audience. We want to make sure, again, it's a multi-touch, leverage QR codes. That is going to create almost an inbound approach. So you're sending outbound mail, but if you have a QR that is on this outbound mail and it brings them into your system, that lead now is warm, right? That's a warm lead who is communicating with you that they have interest in the content that you put out. So your calls are even going to be, they're not going to be cold, and they're going to feel a lot better because that person, you already have some level of authority and rapport built because they're interacting with you. Make sure, again, it's targeted and relevant. So messaging is important. And don't just blast things out. If you can leverage tools like, PropWire, PropStream, Remind, all these different property data tools to be able to find the sellers that you're looking for, it will help your budget in a great way. Then you have the paid marketing. We want to show up and stand out, right? We want to show up, again, where our avatars are. And to give you an example of that is, if we were dealing with someone, let's say pre-foreclosure in your area, is it likely that this pre-foreclosure in your area is showing up on Instagram? Maybe, but not a high chance. Is it likely that they're showing up on Facebook or LinkedIn? Probably a lot higher, just depending on where you're at, based off of the demographic of people who own houses in your neighborhood. You want to try to get that strategic about where you place your money, because paid obviously is coming out of your pocket. Next is lead magnets. A lead magnet is something that is going to draw them in, something that's valuable. Think of like your guides. If you were targeting, again, foreclosure, that may look like 5 steps or 5 things you could do to prevent foreclosure, or 5 things you need to do to prevent foreclosure. We want to answer their questions. We want to, again, talk to their pain points, but we want to draw them in with valuable content that makes them want to engage. Showing up on Google. We want to be at the right audience, right time. We want to also leverage SEO optimization. So even in your websites, your landing pages, this is going to help you show up when they're searching. So leverage SEO. And if you're not an expert at that, reach out. We work with our Making It Rain team, Kevin Comiskey, who handles the advertising for EXP and Making It Rain. He can help you with some of the SEO. We want to make sure also that we have seamless conversion in the sense of leveraging landing pages, real call to actions that will, again, get them to engage. And then we want to retarget anybody who actually looked at our content. So we're showing up constantly. Step 5, it's time to have those conversations. So you've done everything with the marketing. You've chosen, inbound, outbound, or paid. And so now you have leads. it's important that we have the conversations based off of our avatars' pain points and their emotions. And we really understand that every word matters here, right? Give you an example of that. If I'm reaching out to a FISBO, I'm not going to say, hey, Mr. FISBO, do you want a cash offer? I'm not even going to mention the word cash, because cash offer in today's market actually has somewhat of a negative connotation. I probably would just ask them if they want an offer. I want to keep things very open for it to allow me to get my foot in the door and start building trust and rapport with that seller. So to master your conversations, you really need to be intentional about practice. Don't practice on your prospects. Don't practice on the people who you're calling. Get into a role play group and refine your delivery, and make sure that you are, again, practicing on the professionals who are going to give you quality feedback. If you said something that wasn't, if you didn't say it, if you said something that was great, but you didn't say it in the right tone, they will be able to give you that type of feedback, and you'll build confidence by practicing. It's no different than the NBA player that shoots 1,000 free throws at practice and then gets to the game and really is prepared to shoot those free throws. But we have to practice. We want to make sure that, again, we're prepared for when we do actually come into conversation with one of the prospects that we generated. Step 6, you're going to submit your target property to ExpressOffers. We have a really nice, easy platform to use. You log in. We've completely revamped our submission process in November, so it is really streamlined, moving out a lot of the previous document uploads that were needed, the pictures that were needed in the beginning, just making it simple for you to go ahead and start the process with these cash offers. Step 7 is presenting the offers and solutions. So now that you have presented the property and you've gotten your offer range, we want to make sure that we can present not just our offer, but then the other opportunities that a seller can take advantage of. So imagine this scenario. We went out to the FISBO, we saw their house, we see it's in great condition, but we still want to get them an offer because, again, that's how we got into the door. We want to make sure that we do perform on what it is, our promise, our value prop that led the conversation. So if it's an offer, we definitely want to make sure that we present or get an offer to present. But once we have that offer and we're preparing to present it, we now know that that house is actually in great shape. And in today's market, with the right marketing, it would sell for X. And so we want to be able to put those opportunities almost side by side next to each other, so that what happens is it's not a conversation of if they choose you or not. It's which option do they want? Do you want the cash offer? Do you want to do a traditional list, or do you want to do a fix and list opportunity? But ultimately, we want them to be choosing you because you provided all options. So let's talk about why this works. So when we looked at the data from Realtor.com, they did a survey. 12% of sellers expect to receive a cash offer. 15% of sellers expect to have a buyer that's willing to forego contingencies. And then another 15% expect to have an offer within a week. If I'm leading with cash offers, if I'm able to show up with a cash offer, I've hit the seller with all three of these things before we ever even went into a relationship. I'm now one of the most valuable pieces of resources that are out there that they can work with, right? Because I'm leading with value. I'm not waiting for them to tell me, they don't like the offer or they don't like a cash offer. I'm leading with that because I think it's a much better and much stronger value prop, and actually get a chance to learn about the seller situation, learn about what their motivations are and what their goals are. So that's why leading with cash offers work. Now, recap of our strategy. So we want to first, again, understand the value. We want to then pick our avatars or our targets. We want to study our avatars. Then we need to market to them. Then we need to have conversations with them, submit their properties, and present their offers and solutions. Some of the resources that we'll make available to you. You will have a step-by-step guide to help you go through the submission process. So it is really just a 5-step process, really simple. Starts off with a property submission. You then will get offers. From there, it's an evaluation. If the seller is interested, buyers will come out and evaluate the property. Then you'll get a final offer and then contract to close. Next we have is the Express Offer script book. So this is going to be what you can use to practice those conversations in a role play. Everything from for sale by owners to circle prospecting to even conversations with different investors are in that script book. Also, we have your Express Offers Consumer Marketing GPT. This GPT is really robust. We've loaded it up with all of our materials with Express Offers, helping you create different materials, whether it's blog posts, social media content, or even Facebook ads. And lastly, we have the Canva templates. So these are going to be some of like what you saw earlier, social media posts that will allow you to go out and really drive inbound marketing to you and whatever platform you're using, whether it's KV Core or another one. To go further than where we went today, go ahead and get certified. If you scan this QR code, it's going to take you to our certification course in Trackstar. It's a 2-hour course that you can get through. Self-driven. There are a couple of quizzes, but it's just to make sure that you better understand this value prop. And then there's also some incentive to do that. So one, you will have the opportunity to work with more buyers. Every EXP agent has opportunity to work with our largest iBuyer, and that iBuyer is Open Door, and they have done the most transactions of institutional style buyers in the country. So I think one of the resources that I followed quoted that they did almost over 11,000 transactions in 2024. You also will get incentive to bring new buyers to the platform. So as a certified agent, you do have the ability to attract buyers. The buyers that we're looking for have been in the business for 3 years. They have done 12 transactions year over year, and they don't have any legal issues that would prevent them from making and performing offers that they make on our platform. But go ahead and get certified. Looking forward to seeing you on the other side. Now I want to go back. This is a great time. We have a couple of minutes left. I'd love to answer some of your questions. So I see a question here. Let me just scroll up to the top. I see a question here that says, should we use different marketing for each platform? So I would say the marketing should be based off of your avatar, not necessarily the platform. As long as you are reaching out, as long as you're being specific about who you're targeting, I think that the marketing material can go from platform to platform, whether you're using Instagram, Facebook, or even LinkedIn. I think I answered the question about certification, run our own Express Offers ads. Absolutely. And if you need help with that, Kevin Kaminsky can also help you run your own ads and you control those leads. See another one here. Some FSBOs go rentals. So as far as working with FSBOs, the net sheet, what I've found in my experience is that FSBOs it's not necessarily that they don't want to pay commissions. FSBOs are usually looking at the bottom line, and they'd be open to paying your compensation if you net them the amount that they net. So make sure that when you are working with FSBOs, that you don't present any details to them about who your buyer is until they commit to you. And you can still give them details of an offer. I'd even say, to start the conversation, I'd even say, hey, Mr. FSBO, here's the range. If you're interested in seeing further what the final offer is, because this range makes sense, that's a great time to sign an agreement and get your compensation squared away. Let's see here. So properties on the MLS, we don't take properties on the MLS unless they're your listings. Generally speaking, most of these investors believe that they do a great job of scouring the MLS to make offers directly to those agents as opposed to going through us. But if they are your listing, definitely go ahead and submit those. The buyers would be interested in that. Question about institutional investors. Yeah, they all create a buy box. Um, and that's why we moved our criteria down to 12 properties per year. We definitely want to work with a smaller investor as well, not leaving them out, especially considering that over the past couple of years, especially with the climate of the market, a lot of the large buyers, large institutions have kind of simmered down as far as their acquisition. So we know that the local buyers are the ones who are actually still making offers, still performing on deals. So their buy boxes are created to allow you to go out and find the properties that they're looking for. Certification to get certified, or I'm sorry, price to get certified. Nope, your certification is free. You just need to scan this QR code. You'll head over into our track star, where you'll have to use your EXP Okta details, and you will be able to start the certification. I think I answered the question about your own listings. Is there a way to? Yes, this replay is going to be available on EXP Solutions YouTube channel. Not sure if it will be end of the day, but I know it will definitely be there. As far as targeting investors, I think that's a great question. We didn't cover that in this webinar, but yes, there definitely is a way. Facebook groups, your investor meetups, all great places to find those investors. But one of the ways that you could also do that is the same ways that we would find motivated sellers. A lot of those platforms that I spoke about, Remind, PropWire, PropStream, they all have filters to find cash buyers. And so you can find lists of those cash bought opportunities, and then you'll have to do a little bit of research to find out how to get in touch with them, be it online or calling or showing up at their offices. No, as far as who you get paid from, this is a seller representation only platform. So we want you to represent sellers. And to that point, the main reason for that is because we don't want sellers going up against these professional buyers who do this every day, multiple times a day. I think when I looked at a number from one of the other top 10 buyers, they buy like 300 properties a month. And so again, back to my basketball references, it'd be similar to you or I going up and playing against LeBron James. Probably don't have a good chance of coming out on top, even if we are, retired athletes ourselves. In this slide deck, somebody asked about marketing materials. Marketing materials are available here, and we also will be releasing with our marketing team the marketing for ExpressOffers in Canva. So look out for that. But when you have this deck, you'll be able to click on to the Canva materials that we've already created. Somebody asked, is this compensation for a usual transaction or referral fee? Nope. Again, it's a seller representation, so you are getting paid to represent the seller. Will the links? Yes, it will. It will be in this slide deck. I will get with our team to figure out how we are going to send the slide deck out. Solutions will definitely get it to all of the participants today. The link to get certified. Let's see if I can do that for you. I will drop that link here for certification. And if you need to find me, I'm on Workplace. You can find me in Workplace again, Terrance Clark. You can find me also in our community, ExpressOffers community. You can post there. You can also reach out to me via email, terrance.clark@exprealty.net. After you get certified, it takes 24 to 48 hours for us to add you to our system. But from there, the main difference is you'll be able to see the buy boxes and use the different menu options in the platform. There are 5 modules in, certification. Again, total time is about 5 hours or 2 hours, I'm sorry. Well, again, I really appreciate you all stopping and taking the time to learn about this strategy, to learn how you can really blow up your business with this. If you're in the Southeast region, there's probably a name that you know of that their whole business is predicated based off of cash offers, and they really have a large listing business. So this is a huge value prop that if you lean in and lead with this, it can definitely make huge changes in your seller pipeline. You guys have a great rest of your day. Again, I really appreciate the time that we were able to spend together.